Alright, yo guys, in this video I just want to go over a question I've been getting asked a lot of my streams, which is should I pull for Venti or should I pull for Childe? Now honestly, it mostly depends on what you have on your account and what you're going for and also your playstyle, but most importantly, what you should be looking for is which character do you think you're going to have the most fun with? Because yes, you could get Venti, who is probably one of the best supports in the game, if not the best, completely breaks the game for certain situations, or you can get Childe or Tartaglia, one of the best Hydra DPS and pretty much currently only Hydra DPS in the game. Unless you're rocking DPS Barbara, which all the power to you, man. But ultimately, that isn't enough for some people, and they just want an answer. So I figured I'd give you guys my opinion. Go over Venti's constellations, playstyle, if you need him or not, and then same with Childe or Tartaglia. I'll try and keep this as quick as possible as I can, hopefully under 5 to 6 minutes, but if I can, I'm sorry. Also, one last thing, if you guys do enjoy the video and it ends up helping you in some way, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. So, Venti, the Wind Bard God. Venti was my first 5-star, and I'm pretty happy he was, because he's probably one of the most insane characters in the game. He makes floors like 11-2 in the Abyss look like a breeze. Not really any other character in the game can do that. I mean, Sucrose can do it to some extent, but Venti's pulling power and suck is just way more sucky than Sucrose's, if that makes sense. Sucky in a good way, I guess. And one of the best things about Venti is that he is not constellation locked whatsoever. I have him at C0, you can get him at C0, and he does his job fine. Pulls everyone together, generates a bunch of energy for your team. He has the swirl effect, so you can give him the Anemo set and decrease your resistances by 40% with the element you swirl with, which is pretty ridiculous. And he can be decent with most 4-star bows. Stringless is good on him for damage, Favonius is good on him for more energy recharge. And unlike Childe, because of the way his kit is and all that sucking power, you don't even really need to build him up that much. You can literally just throw the Anemo set on him. All artifacts don't have to be leveled. I didn't invest in my Venti for a while. I just invested in my main DPS. And just Venti's ult, E, and energy recharge is insane without even being built up. Obviously, the more constellations you have, the better support he becomes. C1 is garbage. If you're thinking about getting C1 on Venti, don't do it. It's a complete waste. I would just get a whole new character. Because C1 really does nothing for you, honestly. But if you do want to invest artifacts into him, he can do a lot of damage. And with enough energy recharge, he can literally have his ult back up right when it's off cooldown. He's also really good for exploring the overworld. If you guys haven't explored it, there's certain areas you can't reach, or Inoculi or Geoculi, he makes it really easy, and I'm sure he'll make it pretty easy in the future too for when Inazuma comes out and all that stuff. Overall, in my opinion, a 10 out of 10 character, definitely SS tier, makes the game way more easier. As good as Venti is though, he does have some downsides, and those downsides being, one, his ult does not work against large mobs or bosses. So you can't suck in the Boar King, you can't suck in the Geobishop, you can't suck in the Ruin Guards. So keep that in mind. And also, if you're planning on getting him with Klee, it is a major disappointment because even though it seems like he can suck up everything in the entire world, even the Fatui agents, he can suck them inward. These tiny little bombs, these tiny little acorn bomb whatever you want to call them, these little bombs that Klee throws out, Venti cannot suck them up at all. They just stay on the ground, and it is the most annoying thing in the world, and I don't know why it's like that. I guess it'd be OP if that was a thing, but I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. And also, because Venti is the Anemo Archon, and Mondstadt is the Anemo region of Teyvat, I don't see them releasing another Anemo character in the future, like in Inazuma, for like the next year or something. It's gonna have the power level as Venti, because honestly, when are they gonna have a better Anemo character than the one that's the Archon of Mondstadt, right? So that's just a bonus. He's probably got a lot of future proof. If you're worried about, power creep in the game, I don't think Venti's gonna get power creep for a while, so he's probably gonna be good for, who knows, years to come, for all we know. And then we have Childe or Tartaglia. As I said earlier, best Hydra DPS in the game. Also, he's pretty much the only one at the moment, which can be kind of scary, because the way Mihoyo was dealing with DPS right now, Lee came out and was contesting power with the Luke. I think she's actually a little bit better, but I don't know the math on that. And then Hu Tao just came out, and she is insane. She does so much damage, and she's a waifu, and Childe being the water DPS, that is not really, they could easily end up making another character that is Hydro in the future that does more damage. But if you're not looking for the damage factor and you're just looking for complete coolness, Childe's kit is probably one of the coolest things I have ever seen in Genshin. And I know it's only been out for a few months, but dude, just switching to those daggers it's just so cool, man. And the whole Riptide effect, and then his ult that you can just slash, that thing has so much reach and just crazy. Childe isn't necessarily constellation locked, but he does become significantly better at C6 compared to C0 because he can have constant uptime on his E compared to C0, where if you don't manage it properly, you could have up to a 45-second cooldown on your E, which shouldn't be a problem if you're managing it properly, but for some reason time management sucks for you and you can't get that down, and your Childe's E is going on a 45-second cooldown. I don't know what you're doing, but maybe Childe isn't for you. But yes, at C0, you're not going to be able to run him as a main DPS. He's going to have to be a sub DPS because of the cooldown on his E. But if you do have a Hu Tao, that's kind of like a win-win. You use Hu Tao, her E goes on cooldown, you switch over to Childe, his E goes on cooldown, you switch to your support characters, do your support stuff, switch back to Hu Tao, and then it's just a rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And it doesn't even have to be Hu Tao, that's just an example. And then Childe pretty much has an entire artifact set that's pretty much tailored to him. Use your E, your normal attack and charge attacks go up by 30% damage. Literally, it should have just called it the Tartaglia set because that's literally pretty much what his kit is based off of. So even though Venti probably does have longer future proofing than Childe does, Childe still probably won't get phased out or power creeped as a Hydra DPS for a while. Plus, he's one of the sickest characters in the game. I wouldn't recommend getting Constellations on Childe, unless you're pretty much going for C6. I mean, the other ones are okay. Like, C1 doesn't do much for you. Like, yeah, it's a shorter cooldown, but he's still going to be a sub DPS, even if he gets C1. That's pretty much it for Venti and Childe. When it comes down to which one you should get, you have a really good DPS like Diluc, Tao, Klee, Ganyu, Zhao, and not really a good support. Like, you missed out on Zhongli, you missed out on Venti, you missed out on Albedo, then yes, probably Venti over Childe. Do you already have Zhongli? Do you have Xingqiu? Do you have Albedo? Do you not have Diluc? Do you not have a good TPS? Are you using Razor and you want a better DPS, a 5-star DPS? Then Childe is probably a safe bet to go for. That's pretty much it. If you have no good supports, no good characters, you just started in the game, you're looking at the banners, not sure what you want to roll, in my personal opinion, I think Venti would be more beneficial. He just makes the difficulty level of each world level a little bit less hard because of how easy he makes the game. That's pretty much it for the video, guys. I don't want to rant on any longer. If you guys do have any more questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll answer you. And I appreciate all you guys' support, anyone that watched to the end. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.